There he is.
There he is.
Look at him.
There he is.
Look at him, Mikey.
Look at him.
That's right. Look at me, Mikey.
I can't stop.
I know. It's all right. Join the club.
What happens? People start staring at you.
Oh, port, huh? Just port.
Just port, man. Yeah. Why?
What was your other hat that you said? What was it? What was the other one you were wearing there for a while?
The Lake Show.
The Lake Show, right,
yes.
right. They're just wearing hats that nobody fucking knows what they mean. Yep. Port.
Hey, you know what? I don't care if it means something to you, Sims. The Lake Show means something to me. That's where my daughter plays college lacrosse. So I don't give a fuck
all right,
if you
fine.
like it or not.
All right, solid comeback right there. So, does your other daughter play at Port College or what? What's this one?
Yeah, Port University.
PU.
You're wearing that for Dave Portnoy because you're a big fan, right? That's why.
That is exactly right.
I knew it. I knew you were a Portnoy jock sniffer. I knew it.
How'd you guess?
I know. Yeah.
My homage to Dave Portnoy.
Yes.
PFT with Mike Florio. We'll get him out here quickly today. He's a busy man. PFT with Mike Florio, the Up-Button Podcast, Football Night in America. They have Thursday night football, Cowboys and Eagles, NBC does, and they have Ravens and Bills on Sunday night. Chris Sims, fucking football's here.
It's here, baby. I know. I'm pumped. I really am. I'm going to be getting in a car in a little while, heading towards Philadelphia. Always awesome being on the field like pregame, right? For the kickoff game. It is special. It's one of those moments every year where I'm like, man, this is awesome. I'm very fortunate to be here working for NBC and all that, right? You get to see the team unveiling their banner. And of course, the championship team with the target on their back and all of that now. It's pumped. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys, of course, who we know are never shy in theatrics and other crap that's going on. So it should be a good one.
Which game you looking forward to more?
The Sunday night game. How can you not, right? I mean,
yes.
like to me, like one of the themes is the year, and Stugotz has heard me say this. I mean, these are two of the greatest quarterbacks that have ever lived. They just don't have the hardware yet to make everybody buy into that, right? I mean, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they don't get any better. They're phenomenal. They're first ballot Hall of Fame type talents. That's what they are. But they've yet to play in the big game, right? Josh Allen's had his way with Lamar in the playoffs. Lamar and the Ravens, I think, are the second best roster in football. I picked Eagles, Ravens in the Super Bowl yesterday on my pod, right? The Ravens have been phenomenal the last 2 years. They kind of dominated Buffalo last year in that playoff game and just found ways to fuck it up repeatedly. So, yeah, I would expect them to be very chippy in this matchup as well.
Chris, before we continue here with the NFL, your thoughts as the former Texas quarterback. We talked a lot with you about Arch Manning leading up to that game. What were your thoughts on Arch's performance?
Well, it wasn't good. I mean, there's no sugarcoating that, right? But there was things that go into that where I am going to defend him a little here with this and the fact that could you handpick a harder way to start your college career? I mean, really, right? Come on. Right. Oh, I get to go to Ohio State, and they only got 22 NFL players on the field. No big deal. Oh, and it's at their stadium. And, they're the defending national championship. And wait, we watched film from last year's Ohio State game. Oh, right, that doesn't mean shit here because Matt Patricia's now the D coordinator, and we have no clue what he's going to do on the defensive side of the ball. And that, to me, was really the biggest factor of the game. I know you might have seen some of the things I said, but Patricia's ability to do NFL scheme type of stuff. Ohio State's defense was very good last year. Don't get me wrong, and no disrespect, but it was very simple. It was simple math. With Matt Patricia and what they did on Saturday, that was advanced algebra. It was a different look, a different front, a different disguise, a different coverage every play. And I think that's why you saw Texas a little bit with the conservative approach because they were trying to figure out, wait, is there any consistency with what they're calling? If we get in this formation, are they calling this defense more? And I don't think they ever got in a flow that way. And then that lends itself to being uncomfortable as a quarterback. And now you rush decisions and you rush your mechanics throwing the football. So, yeah, it was all bad. He physically didn't look as good as he can look. I know that, but I do have faith that it'll bounce back.
From a team standpoint, you have to be encouraged, right? Because that's Archer's first start. You're on the road. It's Ohio State, defending national champions, and you're in the game late in the game. It's 14-7. You know,
exactly right. I mean, had our chances. I mean, of course, got stopped on a goal line sneak, right? Got stopped on another 4th down throw on the 1 yard line in the back corner of the end zone. Definitely had their chances. You're right. I'm not down on Texas and like, oh man, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if we saw these two teams in the national championship game. I think they're probably the two most physically talented teams in the sport. And that was a tough one for Texas to have to start the season with. But that's why I do love the current college football playoff, status and how it is. Because we know back in the old days, right, when we were growing up, it's like, well, they lost game 1. The season's over, everybody. They can't go to the championship. And that's stupid. So I like that, you're still alive, and I think that'll encourage teams to schedule tougher off, out of conference games going forward when they know they're not going to be killed for losing one game.
So if a team from the NFC, Chris, and again, you have the Eagles and the Cowboys Thursday night to kick off the season, Ravens and Bills on Sunday night. But if a team from the NFC, not named the Philadelphia Eagles, were to make it to the Super Bowl this year, who do you think has the best chance?
I'm still going to go to Detroit Lions.
Really?
I'm still going to go there. Yes. But Green Bay's right there by it.
Yes.
I picked Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl last year. But Green Bay's talent on their team is towards the top of football. We saw in the wild card game, Eagles versus Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay certainly wasn't outclassed, and their quarterback wasn't even playing great football at that time. So, it's one of those two teams I think that I look at. And the Rams are there too, but I'm still going to go to Detroit. I still look at Detroit and go, man, that offense and defensive line, no team's going to overpower them. I'd surely question the coordinator thing, but man, Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Jamison Williams, Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, they're just too good. So I'd still give the edge to the Lions as being the number one upset team of the Eagles.
The Rams announced yesterday that Matthew Stafford will be ready for week 1. Still concerned, though, Sims. You and I love the Rams. We love the Rams. Talented team. We like the coach. But I'm still concerned that guy hasn't played football yet,
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, one, he's up there in age. He's beat up as it is anyways. And I think the other thing, you look at with the Rams and just them in general is you go, okay, I'm not worried about him. He'll catch up as far as reps here during this week. What I am worried about is you haven't played. They have a left tackle issue right now with an injury and where he's going to be. And you got to play 3 of the top 5 defenses in football to start the season, right? Nothing's going to be worse for the back than going, whoa, Will Anderson just crushed me 7 times in the game, and Danielle Hunter crushed me another 7 times, right? So I just hope he is in a good enough spot to where he can handle maybe the early season beating you might get from the offensive line not being on the same page and defenses, I think, still having an advantage a little bit on the early part of the year.
Sim, someone on this Zoom last week said Peyton Manning is not a top 8 quarterback of all time. Someone on this Zoom got very upset by it, and someone else is named Taylor. Where do you fall in this? Where's Peyton Manning all time?
I don't think there's any doubt he's top 5 all time.
Really?
Let me just put it this way. All right. Most people agree that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, right? I know I'm a little one that throws a wrench into that because I feel like there's a little more context that needs to be into this. But certainly Brady's, right up there, right?
Yes.
This top 3 or so. But in my years of playing in the NFL, being in the building, playing the New England Patriots or playing the Indianapolis Colts, right? Let me just tell you, in every building I was in their primes, the building was more on edge when Peyton Manning was coming to town more than Tom Brady coming to town. That's just the fact of the matter. Right. He was the sheriff. He had a nickname, and the whole fucking league called him the sheriff because he was the sheriff of the fucking league. That's where he was. It was like, oh shit. Okay, everything we got to do this week is stop Peyton Manning, play with his brain, try to trick him, do all these type of things. And yeah, so that hopefully, and again, that's not disrespect to Brady. Trust me, the building was on edge with Brady too, but it was a little bit like, man, Belichick's coming and Brady, right? It was a little bit of both that way.
Sure.
So Peyton Manning, I think in person, first off, he's probably the smartest quarterback to ever live. So that means something. I mean, he's old school where he's literally calling plays at the line of scrimmage, packaging plays at the line of scrimmage like we've never seen before, right? In an era where nobody was doing that, and then he did it, and now the whole league's like, yeah, we got to be like Peyton. We got to do that. That's the best way to have a quarterback and win football games. He's so big. You guys have seen Peyton Manning in person. Mm-hmm. He's taller than 6'5". He's really 6'6", and he told them to list him at 6'5" because he didn't think 6'6" looked good on paper, right? So he's huge that way. His arm, even though it's not Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or John Elway, he's so big he can make every throw from every position. He's a better athlete than people realize, and he's clutch as clutch can be. I mean, come on. What was an inevitable thing on a Sunday afternoon when the Colts were playing? Well, here comes Peyton. There's 4 minutes left, and they're going to march down the field. The Colts have a pretty average defense. It's not that great, but don't worry. Peyton will save the day, and they'll score 30 points to win the game again. So, no, I think Peyton Manning.
Except when they play the Patriots, I mean.
Well, yeah, it's a team sport. It's a team sport.
I'm just saying, you would think the sheriff would have more rings. That's all. I mean, he's the sheriff. He can take your rings if he wants it.
I got it. Yeah, he's got 2 rings. I mean, that's kind of fucking a lot. Last time I checked, right? But yeah, again, he was going against an organization and a team that was very special. Let's not forget about that. It's what I say sometimes when I defend Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow right now. It's like, yeah, they're Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. They're just stuck in an era right now where this team and that other quarterback in red wearing 1-5, they're damn special too. And sometimes you get a little unlucky like that.
It does hurt his cause. It hurts it hurts the argument that his brother, who's not nearly as good, was able to overcome Brady twice in a Super Bowl.
No, I get that. But yeah, I mean, Peyton never had a defense that could hold Tom Brady to 14 points in a game and like stymie him, right? So that's not fair either. Peyton, if Peyton played like Eli did in the first Super Bowl, I mean, they would lose by a lot of points, right? I mean, not to take anything away from Eli. I mean, but he didn't do anything special until that last drive, right? That's what I'm trying to talking about there. And he won the MVP, and I get that. But to me, the MVP of Super Bowl 42 will always be Strahan or Tuck or Osi Umenyiora, one of those defensive guys. That was the story of that game. The greatest offense, the greatest quarterback we ever saw, they couldn't score 14 points until very late in the fourth quarter. That was pretty amazing.
Sims, I'm looking on FanDuel right now, and I noticed the Jets are plus 2.5 against the Steelers this week. And I was a little surprised that the number was that low. What in your mind do the Jets have to do to get this win in what I'm calling as a double revenge game for both quarterbacks?
Yeah, right. I don't think it's crazy there. The Jets defense is super talented, right, Taylor? I mean, they got ballers. And there's a little bit of the unknown of like what Aaron Glenn's going to do and bring to the table with this group of guys he's got there. So I think that does even the playing field to a degree. And I mean, history has shown us, Aaron Rodgers early in the season, opening game, I'm not necessarily sitting here thinking, oh, that offense is about to take off and explode in this type of football game. So I think the big thing is, can they run the football on Pittsburgh a little bit, right? I know they're going to be able to play defense. I expect it to be a defensive struggle type of game, but can they run the ball consistently enough to where at least Pittsburgh has to worry about that, and then they get a few opportunities on the outside where Justin Fields can hopefully hit a one-on-one or something like that to Garrett Wilson. But I think running the ball is going to be key for the Jets because I don't have faith that Justin Fields can carry the team if he has to throw the ball 32, 34 times a game.
Chris, what'd you make of Micah Parsons saying his first choice was to be a Cowboy? Like, if you're a Green Bay Packer and you're a fan of the Packers and you're a Packer executive who just traded a lot to get Micah Parsons, is that what you want to hear, or is he just being honest there?
I think he's being. That's where I like Micah. He's honest, and I think if you're a Packer fan, you can go look. The guy's loyal. I mean, he got drafted by them. He wanted to stay there with them. He tried to make it work. They messed it up. So that makes you feel good to go like, hey, he'll like it here, and he's gonna try to make it work here. He's not one of these people. So I think again, what they're just trying to say and make sure everybody knows, and they're trying to. He's saying it. His agent David Mulugheta's saying it because they don't want Dallas to control the narrative. They're letting you know, no, we were fine with Dallas. Dallas messed it up. Dallas punched us below the belt 74 times, and that's why we had to leave. So they're just making sure that everybody knows that the Dallas is the one at fault here more than anything.
I think if you're the Packers, the thing you have to be concerned about is the fact that Micah has to get a shot in his back before he plays in the game.
Well, do you really think he does, or is he just kind of like saying that to be careful because he knows he kind of said he had a back problem with the Dallas Cowboys and he's just trying to make sure that story looks complete? I mean, I don't buy it. I bet you money he doesn't get the epidural. I bet you somehow he won't. I bet you. So I don't know if I really buy that crap. I think that's just maybe covering for your story a little bit here.
Have you gotten the big needle before, the epidural? Oh, it's fantastic. It will solve
I've never gotten an epidural. I've never gotten that. No,
really?
I haven't tried that one. No, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. When you get to my age and your back starts hurting, do it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why fucking go through rehab and weeks of pain where you can just take a big needle and everything's fixed, you know?
Yeah. Well, you think it's fixed until it's not again because you didn't fix anything other than you just, fucking put medicine in it to mask it for a little while.
Oh, it's so good. Why do you have the Ravens over the Bills here? You have the Ravens as your Super Bowl pick out of the AFC, and I'm wondering, what is the difference? There's not a big difference, but I'm wondering what the difference is in your eyes between Baltimore and Buffalo.
Well, I've always said this about Buffalo. I don't really think their roster is Super Bowl roster.
Right.
I think they have a Super Bowl quarterback with a playoff roster. Then we go, oh, I think they should go to the Super Bowl because the quarterback's so awesome. But I look at Baltimore. I think it's, it's arguably the second best roster in the game. It's, Eagles won. We know that.
Right.
And then you get into the Ravens-Lions discussion as the next team down in that pecking order. And, what I look at, with the or first off, let me just start with Buffalo. Buffalo's got a lot of good, but as I say a lot, they don't have a sizzle, right? You watch all these big games in Buffalo. If Josh Allen doesn't make the big play, nobody does. There's never a defender that makes the big in a big moment. There's never anybody on either side of the ball. It's always Josh Allen, period. The other great teams, you go back in Super Bowl here. We know the Eagles got, 7 superstars that can make a play, right? Even the 49ers who lost in the Super Bowl, they had superstars that can really make plays. We know the Chiefs, superstars on both sides of the ball to make plays, whether it's Kelsey, Chris Jones, McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, who was the number 1 corner in the game when he was there too. So they've had guys that can make different. The Rams, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp at his prime, Odell Beckham Jr., Jalen Ramsey. So what are these are the Micah Parsons type guys, the guys where we go, hey, the league's so close, the game comes down to 2 or 3 plays, and usually it's the Jimmies and the Joes that got to make those type of plays. The Bucs won the Super Bowl. They had those guys, both sides of the ball. And that's where I just look at the Bills and I go, I don't know if they have those guys. They got a lot of good, but they don't, to me, have the big-time blue-chip players that the Eagles, the Lions, the Ravens, and even some other teams, the Packers, even have maybe to a degree now on the defensive side of the ball, and that's what's missing, in my opinion.
You're muted, Taylor.
Gosh damn, Taylor, come on.
He's going to start treating you like Billy. Go ahead. Yes,
I can't. He still can't even get it off mute. He's still not off. There it is. There it is.
Damn it! Yeah,
he just got back from Carolina.
Started off so well.
Got addressed by Sonny Dykes. He's had a rough couple of days. Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been tough. But what are you looking for in Cam Ward's first couple of starts and judging if he's going to be successful or not?
Sims loves Cam Ward.
I do love Cam Ward. I mean, listen, I've already seen what I need to see to go, he's got it. I mean, the physical ability is there. The way he throws the football, the calmness, and the way he can work the pocket, right? The game's not too big for him. There to me is they're a team that I think their O-line's a little better than people realize. They got Bill Callahan there, who's one of the best O-line coaches in football, right? Run the ball. And then just comfort and consistency. That's the big thing. Can they stay within the games and just execute the offense and be in competitive football that way? But I don't think there's any limitations to anything he can do, Taylor. Right. I mean, I think the thing we look at is just go, okay, in the passing game, they got Calvin Ridley, who's another guy or two that can show up that we think can make a difference for their football team if a team's doubling Calvin Ridley. That's what I worry about with them a little bit. But, I'd be shocked if it doesn't work. It's just how good will it look? I don't know, because the Titans are certainly a team kind of in the rebuild phase right now.
Sims, one of the teams that's hard for me to kind of figure out is the Houston Texans. The Texans are a team to me that could not make the playoffs, and also a team that could find themselves in the AFC Championship game. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm riding with the Houston Texans. I am. One, I think their defense is a top 5 defense in the league. They got everything on that side of the ball, and I think you guys could just look at the roster and go, yeah, they're stacked. Yeah. So they got that. Then the offensive side of the ball, I think the new offense itself is going to be way better for CJ Stroud. That's one of my big things. We know the last group there, Bobby Slowick and all that. Yeah, it ran out of ideas, the offense, and there was pass protection scheme problems. And that's where, to me, like Nick Caley, who comes in, he's rooted in New England's scheme and Josh McDaniels and that stuff right there. I think that's going to fit CJ Stroud better. I think he's going to be better playing this year. I don't think he was the problem last year anyways. I think it's the support system around him was the issue. And the only thing you really question is their O-line. And I trust that group, but I've heard enough out there that they feel good about it. So I'm one of those that expects the Texans to win the AFC South and be a player in the AFC.
The Texans -3 over the Rams right now on FanDuel.
Yeah,
it's going to be such an interesting. Yeah, it's like, Chris, I'm just going to give you a handful of games here, the ones that I think are great games this weekend, and just give us your thoughts, and we'll get you out of here. Okay.
All right. All good.
Let's start with your game Thursday night, Cowboys and Eagles. What do you think there?
Yeah, well, of course, I think the Eagles are in the driver's seat. To me, it's just it's a little bit of like, hey, you haven't played in preseason. I hope you don't get caught up in the emotions of the banner being raised and all of that, right? Sometimes that can happen to the team coming off the Super Bowl, but I expect them to win the football game. I don't think I'm saying anything crazy here. Now, where Dallas, I think, could be dangerous a little bit here, is that Dak can throw the ball down the field, and he's got 2 weapons on the outside that can attack down the field. And Philadelphia Eagles will give you shots to throw the ball down the field. And if you're willing to take them and can connect, they can make things interesting. But yeah, I certainly favor the Eagles in this.
All right, Buccaneers and Falcons. I find this game interesting because that division is wide open, and I'm interested to see if Michael Penix Jr. is going to be great.
That's the big thing. And the Buccaneers, their secondary, I think, is a little bit of a question mark. Their corner play. What did Atlanta add to the offense now because of Michael Penix? What's that going to look like? It ain't going to look like it did, at the end of the year when he still had the training wheels on last year. And it ain't going to look like the Falcons offense that we saw with Kirk Cousins, who couldn't throw the ball past 15 yards for the first 14 weeks of the year. So that to me is the other kind of unknown. I like Tampa Bay. I think they're a really good football team, but I don't know if that is conducive to a win opener in Atlanta with maybe an unexpected offensive attack here. Like, I haven't picked all my games yet, and that's one game that I'm not solidified on yet. I'm going to have to think a little bit here as we sit here on a Wednesday talking about this.
All right, Dolphins and Colts here. I only ask because I want you to take the Colts to crush Billy, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck Billy. I'll crush him anyways, okay? So this is kind of an under-the-radar interesting matchup. The Colts are one of those handful of teams where I didn't have the guts to pick them in the to go to the playoffs, but certainly could see a pathway of that happening there. New Anarumo, new D coordinator there. Can he figure out Tua and what they do on that side of the ball? I think this is going to be a tight, close football game. I expect it to be. I mean, I still think the Dolphins' defense is good, and you still got some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. So, whoever wins, and I'm not going to pick the game yet because I got to pick my games officially on the podcast yet.
I do think right. You have to do it on your. Listen, we get it. You have to do it on your platform. I know you do. They don't want the picks on my platform. They want it on yours. I get it. I understand.
I know you do. I know. So, but yeah, I do think it's a tight one, right? That's for sure. I don't see any team dominating or pulling away in that one.
The quarterback you are most excited to see this year in terms of growth and potential, for me, it's Bo Nix. Who is your guy?
Well, Bo is definitely one of the names that would come to my mind, right? Denver, to me, this is I've called my shot. I said this is the year the AFC West goes through Denver. Denver's going to win the AFC West. Wow. I think they're that good.
Did you say that on your platform first, though?
I did. So I could say it here.
We'd scrub it out if you did it.
Yeah. Thank you for looking out for my brand.
You got it, buddy.
I got to say I'm most excited for Caleb Williams. I am. I'm a Caleb Williams fan. I see Caleb Williams do things on the field where I just go, Only the great ones can do that. Only the great ones can throw the ball the way he can throw. Right. I mean, his physical ability is up there with the most special we got in the league right now. And now he's got an offense and everything around him to where you go, ooh, this could be exciting. So that's the guy, I think is going to be motivated. He's probably sick of hearing about Jaden Daniels and how awesome he was. Right. And I think the Bears can certainly surprise some people this year.
Does Chad Morton, the guy who replaced Ben Johnson, have the most pressure of any coordinator in the history of the NFL?
It's up there, John Morton, right? He's got, it's a lot, and I don't think it should be, disregarded. I think it's real. It's the thing. I got the Lions going to the NFC Championship game this year, but I don't have the Lions being like 15-2 or 14-3.
Right.
I think there is going to be an adjustment period here. I mean, Ben Johnson has probably been the best play caller in football the last few years. If not, he's top 3.
Was he right on Morton?
No, so Chad Morton was a running back.
Right.
And now he's the running back coach for the Jaguars.
Right.
Okay.
So
he was right.
He's got pressure too.
I'm right.
You're the one who
John
texted it to me, Mikey.
Yes. My bad.
Sims, how do you feel about when a tennis player, I don't know if you're watching the U.S. Open.
I watch it all. It all.
But how do you feel just in general in tennis where you hit a point, where you hit a shot and it goes off the net?
Oh, I know.
And it lands on the opponent's side, and it's a cheap point, but you win the point because those are the rules. Do you feel like are you obligated to wave and say sorry to your opponent in that situation?
No, I'm so sick of some of these unwritten rules of like just this crap like this. Like, my feelings were hurt because you didn't like barely glaze back and hold your hand up like you actually fucking didn't care anyways, but we got to go through the theatrics of caring, right? I hate that stuff. I do. Right. Some of these, like, we got to, okay, if a guy hits a home run and he twirls his bat, deal with it. So what? It's 2025. Like, get out of here with all these stupid unwritten rules, right? Yes. I don't like that stuff. Like baseball saying they were going to police themselves for years. And I go, well, your steroids were rampant. Nobody policed anything. Spider Tech was rampant. You didn't police anything. Yeah, so your unwritten rules, like, kiss my ass with that crap.
How do you feel about when they toss the ball, the server is tossing the ball and he gets to catch it and reset? I think it's bullshit. No, and what other sport do you get to do that? I mean, seriously, what if there's a bad snap? You can't get the ball back and snap it again?
Well, officially the play hasn't started. I mean, it's not fun to watch. It delays things, but like, I can understand that. You're not going to toss the ball up perfectly every time. So, I can handle that, right? Okay. That's not a problem for me.
All right. Who are you pulling for in the U.S. Open? I never talked tennis with Chris Sims. This is a new
dude. I went Sunday night. I watched Djokovic in person Sunday night. It was an all-time moment to see him in person, right? Because, I mean, to me, I think he is the greatest ever, and he's pretty special. I know there's some off-the-field stuff that's controversial or whatever else, but, man, on the court, unreal. Man, what's weird is I like all 3 of these top guys, right? Like I like Sinner, Alcaraz, and Djokovic. Like I'm like, damn, they're all good, right? Yes. I feel like I'm pulling for Djokovic. I'm pulling for him, and I'm pulling for Osaka. I'd love to see Osaka, that story and what she's done and the comeback and all that. I think those are the 2 I'm rooting for here.
Taylor, you have Sims as a big time tennis player. I do. I think Chris Sims has he has a wicked serve. I think he can kick our ass. I
mean, when I get going and can play, I can hit the ball pretty damn good. That's for sure.
What do you mean when I get going? You're a young man.
Like if I get to play a little bit and get a feel like get out there and get to hit the ball and get in a little rhythm, then I can start to let it go pretty good.
Can we set up a tennis match, me and you? I think the audience would love it. Okay?
Yeah, I'm sure they would. Yes.
Listen. I will hand you tennis balls that have Billy's face on them. Okay.
That would be great. That would be awesome. Definitely. As long as you wear your port hat, well, I'm down.
I will wear the port hat.
All right. Good.
Not the Late Show hat. You feel bad about saying?
I do. I felt bad about that one.
And I snapped back at you for the first time in our friendship.
Yeah, hey, when it's family, it's personal. It's family, it's personal. I know. Even though you've made fun of my family before, but it's all good.
I love your family so much. I do. I want to be a member of your family.
You're an honorary member.
Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. I love you. All right. PFT with Mike Florio every single day. The Unbuttoned podcast as well. Football Night in America. 2 games this week. They have the Thursday night game, of course, the season opener with the Eagles and Cowboys. And then they have Sunday night football, Ravens and Bills. Chris Sims will be all over your television all weekend long. I am looking forward to it. I can't wait seeing you on my TV. Did you say goodbye to your family yet?
No, not yet. I'm going to go home right now. I got to kind of pack the bag, and then I'll head to Philadelphia.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, buddy. We're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to having you back on here every week.
You know it. Here we go. God bless football. We're back, baby. Have fun.
Yes.